So far, so good. They're learning. Coach Walker's doing a great job with those guys. They hadn't done a whole lot since November, so they're kind of getting into a conditioning mode. But for the most part, all those kids are working hard, and I think they're ready to get started with some football.
You mentioned Brad Davis, and you had a previous relationship. Where does that stem from?
Well, we're at the University of North Texas together with Seth Luttrell, and Brad and I have been knowing each other for years, and finally got a chance to work with each other. And I'm a believer as a defensive line coach that when you have an offensive line partner that you can work well with on the staff, that's the secret to success. You know, and when you two guys can work good together, I think it makes both sides of the ball better, and it makes the team better as a whole.
Yeah, am I correct? You have a son at North Texas, is that right?
I do, yeah. Our oldest son is playing defensive line at the University of North Texas, and he kind of fell in love and had a really good relationship with the place and with Coach Luttrell over there, and he chose to go back, and he's doing a good job there. He's a redshirt freshman actually in his second year, and he's doing well.
Julius Coates, junior college. What do you think you can get out of him? Do you project him inside or outside? Or
right now he's outside. He's 6'6", 270. You know, and I always have a discussion about inside outside guys. Sometimes it's difficult when outside guys in their mind think I'm an edge guy, pass rusher, and then they grow out of it. Sometimes they still have that outside mentality, and they're not able to function inside. So as a coach, I got to be careful with that and protect him and make sure that he can actually do it before that even comes to the discussion. But I think he's going to be an outside guy right now. I think he's going to be a good one.
Thanks, Coach.
Coach, the three young guys that they brought in the interior last cycle, Torian Carter, Enoch Jackson, and Marcus Miller, just what have you seen from them and how they've been working out this winter?
Well, I've seen them work out. I think those guys both have the ability to be productive and be a part of the team. Of course, they're in their first year. They've only been here a semester, right? I got here last summer. So they've only been here a semester, and they really hadn't had a chance to prove their worth. I think this spring is going to be a great opportunity for them, and we'll see from there. But right now, I don't know.
Do you feel like the guys that were backing up T.J. Smith and Sosa got enough reps last year to be ready to perhaps take over inside? Because you're going to need two new starters.
I don't think we have a choice. I think we've gotten the chance to watch everybody's individual clips on what they can do and all the production from last year. I think John Marshall's going to be great. I think he's going to do a great job. I think Isaiah's going to do a good job. They both have playing time, and nothing beats game day experience. I mean, you can practice forever, but until you see guys on Saturdays and game day experience, you really don't know what you got in a player.
What did you feel like, or what do you feel like you guys can do to make the biggest jump this coming season, based on what you see on film that you feel like you can really change?
Well, I think the first thing is it's on the players. It's their responsibility to buy into what we're doing and to play fast. I think with defense, there's a lot of errors in defensive football. And the team that can play fast, all 11 guys that can play fast and get to that football with great effort, I think that covers a lot of mistakes that young guys will make in the future.
How excited are you for Blaine Toll? Because he's just kind of, you could probably do a lot with someone like him.
Yeah, he's a big kid. He's only 17 years old. I think he just turned 17 this December, and he's bigger than a lot of guys in the room already. He's a little raw. He's played quarterback, tight end, Mr. Everything kind of in Hazen, and he's got some learning to do, but I think his abilities are through the roof, and I think once he learns how to play football and at this level, I think he's going to be a good football player for us.
Welcome, Coach.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm Mitch with
Hey,
4029.
how you doing, Derrick
Nice
LeBlanc?
to see you. Welcome.
Into town and just this kind of whirlwind of being thrown into things for
Yeah,
the last 25 days.
That's all right. That's all right.
How's it going?
Everything's going well.
Good.
Everything's going well, yes.
How did recruiting go for you when you looked at who you got? I know a lot of emphasis was on the defensive side of the ball, the guys you were able to bring in. How does that excite you?
Well, I tell you what, I like to take the credit for it. But when I got here, Coach Pippen had already done such a great job of getting guys in. Blaine was signed, Jashar was signed, Cottrell was signed already, and so we had guys already in the boat. The one key we had in common, we got Coates in, he was already signed when I got here as well. And then Jaquaylin McGee was a kid that we had evaluated at Kentucky, didn't really fit the scheme of what we were doing, and now he's here with us. I'm glad he's here. He's a really good football player. So I think the pieces were already there, and that goes to the kind of man Coach Pittman is, and with Coach Odom being there already. But the ball was really rolling, but I'm glad we got the guys that we have.
When he was hired, Sam Pittman, Hunter Yurchek said, we want a coach who knows how to win in the trenches, and now you're a big part of that defensive side of the ball. What is it going to take for you to get guys in here who can win that battle of the line?
Well, I'll tell you what, that's what kind of struck my interest in Arkansas, is that the head coach was an offensive line guy, and he was a trenches guy. And that's always been intriguing to me to see how that's going to work out. But that's the most important thing in this conference is this is a trenches league. The guys are big, they're physical, they can run, and having the ability to play good defense and have good and recruit big people is half the battle in winning in this league.
Hey, I tell you, this is a place that defensive linemen want to come to. Trey Flowers, Darius Violin, all former defensive linemen here. So it's gotta be exciting to know that big guys can come here and they can be successful.
That's right, and it's so difficult to find the right big people in college football, period. Special defensive linemen are hard to find. I think we know where they are, just not a lot of them, so they're hard to get. But this place has always put out good defensive linemen, and being in the SEC West, this is kind of the mecca of defensive line play, so I'm excited about that.
And then how excited are you to develop these guys once you get here? Once they get here on campus, develop these guys into who they need to be successful? Well,
I was telling the guys the other day, I love the practice. Practice is where I enjoy the most. Game day, they're playing. There's not a lot for a D-line coach to do on game day, but developing and helping these guys become better, that's what my passion is I like being on the practice field. I like teaching. Coaching is teaching and motivating guys to learn a skill, and I take pride in that.
What was it about Barry Odom to come to work for him under his staff? You mentioned Sam already being an offensive lineman, but to work with Barry and to be here at Arkansas.
Yeah, well, Barry's a defensive guy, obviously, and having the opportunity to coach against Missouri the last few years, their defenses have been good, and they were good at Memphis. They were good when he got back to Missouri and as a head coach, so his track record is really good, and I'm excited about that as well.
How about being a part of this when Sam tries to turn it around, trying to get Arkansas back on the map, get this program going in the right direction, and you get to be a part of it?
Right. Well, that's a challenge. That's why we do it, I think. Not very often you get a job where it's just a bunch of roses, right? When you get a job, there's some issues, and I think that's a lot of what coaching is finding the problems, identifying the problems, and then fixing the problems, So this is going to be a great challenge for us. I think it can be done.